Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Spreading the News, episode 49 here on July 17th. Welcome back. I am your host, Chase Carucci, alongside Danny. Danny, how you doing today, buddy?
What is up? How are you?
Danny, we missed you last week, back from vacation.
Yes, I am back. Got a nice tan, but I'm ready to talk Yanks again.
You look good.
So do you.
Haircut?
Yeah, well that was right before, I guess, the vacation a week ago.
It looks short. It looks shorter than it normally
Yeah.
does. It
Yeah,
looks
it went a
good.
little short. Went a little short.
Well, I hope you had a good vacation, buddy.
Yep. All right. And before we get into the bad stuff, because this will be a not happy episode, I want to show you what I just picked up in the mail. Came today. Brian Hoke.
Wow.
Brian Hoke authored Aaron Judge 62 book. Got this in the mail today. Excited to read this. I haven't read a book in God knows how long, so I'm excited to try to get through it. I don't know if I'm going to understand every word, but we'll try. And then,
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm excited.
How much was it?
Like $25. So
It's awesome.
28. Yeah.
Let me know how it is. If it's good, I'll read it myself.
Yeah, you should.
I'd imagine there's probably some really good stories in there,
Yeah.
but
It's over 300 pages. Also, one more thing, off the Yankees, the only thing that could salvage the mood today, because not a good mood today after this Yankees series. The only thing that could salvage the mood is Saquon Barkley signing an extension before the 4 o'clock deadline. So New York Giants, hey, we're going to be on there for this. We're going to be on here for this news. Probably going to be a somber episode, not a happy episode, maybe an angry episode. But if we get that news that he signed an extension, I'll be uplifted a little bit, you know?
I'm a little curious. I know we're not a Giants podcast, but what do you think about that whole situation?
So I understand both sides. Obviously, the running back market is not very great. No team wants to pay a running back big, but I also understand Saquon's side of it. You know, he had a really good season last year, and that was supposed to be his prove it year to get a contract. So
Right.
now that he's not getting a contract, kind of weird. Why does he have to prove it again if he just did?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, as I've always said, like we've always said, crazy things happen on here. So, who knows? Maybe you'll get some good news for your squad. But,
Yeah.
anyways, Danny, do you think there's even a need for a Yankee of the Week? I'm like, what do you think? Is there?
No.
No, right? There's no point.
Gleyber Torres hit well.
Yeah, I mean, Glaber's been hitting well. DJ had a couple hits in, I think, like game 2 of the series. I think he had like 3 hits, which was his first 3-hit game since like mid-May. I saw they put on the broadcast, which was like so weird to think about because if you told me that like a couple years ago, that would have been like a regular thing for DJ. But um, just a really glum series. Really glum series. Game 1. Did you get a chance to watch these games at all, or
I watched what I could. I watched Saturday and Sunday. Friday, I was kind of in and out because I was still away, but I was
Okay.
home for Saturday and Sunday, so I was able to watch those games.
So Friday, I also missed Friday's game because I was working. But
I saw most of it.
I saw Rodon didn't pitch as good as you would want him to, but like I'm not gonna overreact to that. Coors Field, fastball. He's a fastball pitcher. Fastballs don't really play there.
That's
So
not my concern.
yeah, not gonna go crazy over that. Just gotta hope, obviously, he looks good in his next start.
Just Wednesday.
Stan's been looking a little better. I guess we'll talk
Mhm.
about that a little bit. Stan's been looking a little better. I don't know what his numbers are over the last couple of games. I'll pull him up here, but he's had a
Couple home
couple
runs in this
couple home runs.
series.
Yeah, couple home runs. I'm pulling up his stats right now. Just give me one sec.
Oof, his last 7, he's hitting 208. It's pretty good.
Is it that low?
Yeah. 4 homers though in his last 7. That's that's good. That's what we need.
It's actually a lot worse than I thought it would be. The 208.
Yeah, 750 slug though. So I mean, he's hitting homers again. So when the homer for him, for Giancarlo Stanton, when the homers start coming, then his bat starts coming. So I mean, it is a good sign that he's hitting the home runs again at least.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And as we always said, like they need him really bad, so he's gotta perform. But anyways, they ended up losing on Friday, just in a really bad loss, 7-2 loss. They come back on Saturday. They bounce back in a 6-3 win. Stanton again hit another home run. Um, I'm trying to remember. Did I watch? I don't think I watched this game either. I don't think I could.
So that game 2 game, we were going into that game facing another starting pitcher with above a 6 ERA. And I had tweeted out on our account that that was happening and see if we could actually hit one because we were shut out by the last, I don't know how many guys with over 6 ERAs, at least the last two with Tyone and Gomber on Friday. But when it's that game and we hit right off the bat, we were scoring 6 runs in the first 2 innings. And I'm like, all right, this is great. Torres was hitting, Stanton was hit a home run, 3-run homer. So I'm like, all right, let's go. We finally knocked a starting pitcher out. When was the last time you saw the Yankees knock out a starting pitcher in the 3rd inning?
Been a long time.
Been a long time. But yes, we won that game. Yes, it looks good, the 6 runs and how it happened. But we were shut out for 3 through 9, innings 3 through 9 there. So yeah, obviously we won, so you don't want to be all nitpicky like that, but you have to be with this team because they can't hit. They haven't been able to hit. So you see the 6 runs like, oh, finally they hit. But you see when it came, like, yeah, we just exploded in the first 2 innings off a shitty starter, but then we couldn't do anything the rest of the game. We kind of just laid down and posted the rest of the game, which you can't do because, better teams will hit you. They'll score 6 runs if you just lay down and die. So, they didn't keep the pedal to the metal and they ended up still winning, obviously, but then that went into last night's game where
so
worst loss of the season, new worst loss.
New worst loss of the season. They salvaged Saturday. Had a chance to really bounce back from their loss from Friday and like kind of save the series and but just yesterday was just an all around pretty miserable game. I'm assuming you watched this game or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Yankees didn't score at all until the 6th inning. We know how that goes. Garrett Cole gave us another just
amazing
performance. I mean, we can sit here and talk about all the bad things about the Yankee season. There's a lot to talk about, but one thing you can say that's been amazing, and it's really unfortunate, is that Garrett Cole is having his best season as a Yankee. Probably his best season since his last season in Houston. But he's been absolutely fantastic. Yesterday, he went 6 innings pitched with only 2 hits and 1 earned run and 11 strikeouts in 6 innings, which is crazy.
Yep. 1 mistake pitch that was a home run, but other than that, he was amazing.
Yeah, he was amazing yesterday. Really just like as usual, giving it everything he's got for the team. And at one point it looked like it was enough because they were up 3-1 late in the game.
Hey, and like I was saying, like I just said about the 6 ERA, Chase Anderson, 35-year-old with well above a 6 ERA in that game, shut us out through 5 innings. We didn't score against him. Luckily they freaking pulled him, but yeah, we couldn't hit 35-year-old Chase Anderson with, I think coming into that game, it was like a 6.5, 6.8 ERA, something like that. And we got his ERA all the way down to 6.26 because we got shut out through 5. Not good.
Not good at all. Unbelievable. That's just been the circumstances with us this year. Like we just can't, I don't know what it is. I feel like every time we face a good pitcher, like we do like an okay job. When we face a bad pitcher, it's like it's just unbearable.
Yeah. Can't do anything, man.
But to finish out the game, into the 8th inning, CJ Cron wasn't the grand slam, right? Oh no, it was. That was the grand slam.
Yeah.
So Tommy Kahnle comes in, he loads the bases. First hiccup all year pretty much. I know the previous outing that he had the night before was, or maybe it was 2 nights before, he got into a little bit of trouble, but I think he only gave up like 1 unearned run. So but this time around he came in, loaded the bases. So first hiccup all year for him. And then they bring in Clay Holmes to relieve him with 2 outs. Clay Holmes gives up a grand slam, gives up the Yankee
home
lead.
Run let up for Clay Holmes this year.
Yeah, gives up the Yankee lead. Ultimately giving the Rockies 5-3 lead going into the 9th. And then at that point, it's just like the morale is low. And then Gleyber comes out. Gleyber starts a little bit of a rally with well, that wasn't an infield single, or was it? I don't know. Was it an error?
What did they give him there? They did give him on an infield single on
Yeah,
that, but we scored the run
it
on a
could have it could have
throwaway.
been an error. It could have been an error.
Yeah, he gave us the infield single. He hustled it out, forced a throw, threw it away, and we ended up scoring on a throw and error. So
Yeah. And the Yankees end up tying it in the ninth. Um, obviously you want to see them win, but like it was just hard to, at least for me, hard to like be happy about them tying the game just because of what just happened and what's been happening. And then they go to extra innings. The pitchers do their job into extras, and then Ian Hamilton was great yesterday again, like
yep.
continuing to build on his great season. Like, and then comes in Nick Ramirez.
Yeah, the top of the 11th for the Yankees was awesome. I mean, that was all the kids. Cabrera singled home Volpe, then Peraza singled home Cabrera. It was awesome to see. Like, it was like, this is what we wanted. Like, all these three kids playing together, and Peraza was freaking hyped up at first base. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
He's back. He's back, baby. Gave us a huge RBI single to extend a lead. Let's go. And Boone brings in
Nick Ramirez. Yeah. Look, at first I was upset with like the decision there, but I realized that only like King and Marinaccio were available. And like I understand, I guess they wanted to get King a day off.
They wanted lefty too.
Yeah, and the lefty. So like I guess I understand it, but like
seems to not work with Nick Ramirez though. That was the strategy with Brandon Nimmo in the Mets game, and who walked it off on us.
Yeah. But yeah, Nick Ramirez ends up giving up the punching blow for them to tie the game again in extras. And then they bring in Marinaccio in relief. And the Marinaccio, who's been just really bad. Marinaccio's been really, really bad over his last X amount of games. And he gives up the first home run of the season to whatever his name was, Trejo, something.
Trejo,
yeah. Alan Trejo. Just a really miserable way to cap off a miserable series. A bad way to come out of the break, really bad way to come out of the All-Star break.
Oh,
and now they got coming up after the Colorado, they got the Angels, and like the Angels are bad too, but like obviously like
they're better than the Rockies are.
Yeah, they're better than the Rockies. Like they're good enough to win games. So it's like I don't know.
It's Severino on the bump today. Ugh.
Yeah, which is never good.
I'm not looking forward to watch Luis Severino pitch. There was a time where I couldn't wait to watch Sevy pitch, but now like I'm dreading watching this game tonight. I like.
Is it late? Is it a late game?
9:30. Yeah.
Oof. I kind of like the late games though, honestly.
Let's watch it while we're playing co-op. How about that?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm down. But yeah, Danny, it's been that was a disaster way to come out of the break. Just pretty much sums up the whole first half. Seems like the first half hiccups have seeped into the second half a little bit in that first series. So I want to start here with the bullpen. I think we're seeing a little bit of what we saw last year. Yeah. How now, the last couple of weeks, the bullpen's kind of been coming back to earth a little bit. Not exactly sure where they rank in terms of the entirety of Major League Baseball, but it almost feels like they're getting a little burnt out. And we saw that last year. The whole second half, the bullpen, and Clay Holmes most notably, of the bunch was the most burnt out, and he had that horrible second half to the point where he was also unpitchable. I wouldn't say that any of our guys at this moment are unpitchable, but they're definitely, it seems like there's some fatigue setting in because the starters are not doing what they're supposed to do, except for Cole, obviously. So
yeah, I think.
Do you think we're getting burnt out? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, they have like. I think I saw over the last 5 or so games, they have over an 80 ERA. So the bullpen has been losing us games lately. But yeah, definitely, I think we're seeing a burnout, and I think we are going to have to go if we're trying to win, which we'll talk about. I think we're going to preview the trade deadline a little bit in this episode. But I think we are going to have to go out and try to get a bullpen arm because some of these guys that were looking really good to start, Nick Ramirez being one of them, Albert Abreu, they're starting to look very, very hittable, which we kind of assumed would happen. I'm sure you guys talked about last week, Jimmy Cordero, piece of shit being. He is gone, so we do need probably a bullpen arm or two at the deadline, and hopefully Clay Holmes can keep pitching well like we have seen this season. Yes, obviously he gave up the home run yesterday, but that's not indicative of how this has gone. Hopefully he doesn't burn out. Hopefully we could have King. Hopefully our big guys stay better, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. I think it's definitely a burnout happening, and these guys are coming down to earth. So we have to do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, even if they don't acquire a couple of bullpen arms, like they got Nestor on the horizon, who should like ease in the blow a little bit, but like he's also not gonna go late into games, so it's like I don't
And
know.
also, we saw how Nestor was before the injury too.
Right, right, and how Severino's been pitching, he can't even go 4 innings anymore. So,
Yeah.
um, their bullpen is in a not so great spot right now. They're gonna have to really climb some hurdles to get over what they're going through right now. But yeah, I agree. I think the bullpen, like I said, is getting a little burnt out, similar to how it happened last year. And I do think they're going to have to acquire an arm or two, like you said. So
Yeah, and
not,
I mean, and we have a lot of things we need to acquire at this deadline too. So if we're actually
yeah,
going to try to win and go buy, we're going to need more than two bullpen arms. We're going to need a lot. So
I'm
that just
not so
adds extra moves we have to make.
I'm not so sure who would even be on the market, like reliever wise.
Cashman, well, that's the one thing that we
But
like
yeah,
Cashman
that's what I
for.
was getting at. Like Cashman, if there's one thing that he's good at, he's so good at finding
Yeah.
relievers out of nowhere. I don't know how he does
Efros
it.
last year was awesome. Like that was a
Yeah.
great find.
Yeah. So I'm like for that reason though, like that's why I'm not too concerned about the bullpen because I think he probably will get a bullpen arm because I feel like every year he gets one.
Yeah. And
Um,
it costs nothing to.
yeah. So but I guess we could talk a little bit more about like trades now. Like Cody Bellinger has been heavily rumored to the Yankees. A lot of Yankee fans, including yourself, have campaigned for the Yankees to
Obviously,
trade
yes, I would
trade for
love Cody
Bellinger.
Bellinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Would obviously rather the big names, but sometimes that's not realistic. We do need more than Cody Bellinger if we want to win. But yeah, I would like if we traded for Cody Bellinger. I think that would be a good acquisition. Probably wouldn't cost as much as the other guys would, obviously. So I think Cody Bellinger would be a nice lefty bat in Yankee Stadium. He's sitting around 300 right now. So we've been saying we needed a lefty bat for a while. Cody Bellinger is looking like he's back to form almost. So I think he would be a
yeah.
good acquisition for this team.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, like, and I've said in the past, like the Yankees might have to look into selling at the deadline some of their guys, but it's just not realistic. Like, it's not going to happen. The Yankees just don't sell. They sold the 1 year in 2016, but it's like so rare they just never do it.
Yeah, and I mean that
Um,
worked, but
but I'm with you on that. Like Cody Bellinger, I think would be a good acquisition for this team. The high average, the power, the lefty bat, and the defense. Like he solves the center field. He
yep,
solves he can play right, he can play left, and he can play first.
yeah.
So
Which I think
uh
is a waste of his. I don't like when I see him at first base because that's kind of a
yeah,
waste of his
it is a
defensive
waste.
ability. But
But like if Rizzo needs a day off,
yeah,
like which it seems like he could use a couple of days off, maybe even a couple weeks.
yeah,
But I'm with you on that. Like I think you're pulling. Are you pulling up Bellinger's numbers right now?
yeah. I have him up. But 61 games, so he did miss a little time, but he's hitting 301, 12 homers with an 882 OPS. I mean, if that's not what the Yankees need right now, then I don't know what
Yeah.
is. So I know people say like, well, Cody Bellinger isn't the end all be all. Obviously, kind of, yeah. But that would be a huge upgrade to what we have now, and he would be a very, very, very needed piece in this lineup.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he would be a good pickup, and I think he would be cheaper. I don't think he'd be cheap, but I think he'd be
No, because you got to
cheap-ish.
remember, people do say like, oh, he's not going to cost much. Got to remember, the guy's 27 years old still. Like it
Yeah,
feels like he's older because he broke in 2017, was amazing, and then kind of went through a slide, which seemed like last forever. But he is only 27 years old. I know the Cubs only have him on a 1 year deal, so in that sense, it'll cost less. But it definitely won't. It definitely will cost us a little something, like one of our good prospects at least. So
which I think I'm okay with.
I'm okay with it. I
Yeah,
mean, I've said I've been on record in the past saying, and I know, I mean, John Boy says this too, and I've always been on this train as well. If you're making a trade and you're the guy selling, you lost. You lost the trade. If you only really win a trade if you're on the receiving end of the good player. So I'm all for trading these prospects. Let's go out, get stars, and try to freaking win.
yeah. But like Bellinger, like we can go into that. That I mean, the trade deadline's what 2 weeks away. Danny,
Yeah,
am I
August
right?
1st. What is that? I don't know the math on that, but
I think that's like yeah, like 2 weeks.
yeah.
So not next episode, but like the episode after, assuming we're continuing weekly, obviously. We'll probably have like an official like trade prediction episode.
Wait, wait,
Um,
wait, 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 wait. I think I was gonna say, and we haven't talked about this yet. We haven't planned. I was gonna say next week we have like, remember last year when we had the special where we did like mock trades, whatever.
right, that's what I'm talking
I think
about.
that should be next week because the week after that would be July 31st, and by that time trades happen.
Oh
In
yeah.
that,
Okay, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. So next week. Yeah, that's a good point. So we could do that next week. But so stay tuned for that if you're listening.
Yeah.
But we'll get into like official mock trades or wish lists that, we want them to do. But, a little teaser, like me and Danny are both on the Bellinger train. I think Bellinger would, like we said, would be a great pickup. But they can't stop there. Like if they're gonna go, if they're gonna go and they're gonna get Bellinger, they gotta get a couple more guys. Like don't know who they could get. Like I don't even know who would even be on the market. Like there's rumors that the Cardinals are gonna have a fire sale, but like
Heimer
Arenado,
Candelario.
yeah, yeah, Candelario, like me and you have been talking about, like Lane Thomas, like
Yeah.
a couple of these guys, like I think would be some sneaky pickups.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think Candelario would be a bad pickup at all. Obviously, like I think Yankee fans would roll their eyes at seeing that, but he's had a really solid season. Third base, it solves that hole. I think that would be a good pickup too. If we're going like the Bellinger, like a couple guys route and get like Bellinger, him, and all that. Like if we're not going the superstar route.
yeah, I don't know if I don't know what it would take, honestly. Like this team has a lot of holes. They're gonna have to make some significant changes very quickly. It's got to be a very quick turnaround because they're in are they in last place or are they in fourth right now? They're in
Tied for
last,
last
right?
place with the Red Sox. Yes.
Yeah, so they're tied for last
And the Red
and
Sox beat us head to head, so they have the tiebreakers. Technically, we're in last place.
yeah, and the judge news, by the way, seems like it's getting a little better.
Yep.
It seems like Judge could honestly be back within the next maybe like month, maybe
Yeah.
like next couple weeks, which would be a huge W for us because we were under the impression he was probably September or later at that point. But um
Yeah, he was taking batting practice at Coors Field, and he said after that he didn't feel much limitation, so he felt good
yeah,
at the plate. Hopefully, he could progress in that baseball activity development. Then we could get him on a rehab start, couple rehab stints, and get him back. How about that?
yeah, that would be big. Like imagine a deadline of like Judge, and I hate doing that because I always make fun of Cashman and Boone for saying like we're getting these guys back at the deadline. So
Yeah,
that's like our trade deadline, but like like it's Aaron Judge, so like obviously
yeah.
like it's like you're acquiring Aaron Judge. But yeah, you're getting Judge, you're getting Bellinger, you're getting maybe even Danny, like maybe even a rotation piece, like some random starter out there somewhere that they might be looking
Be like
into.
a 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got a rumor today about a potential catching acquisition, which I thought was completely out of left field. I think we've pretty much been under the impression that Higashioka and Trevino are kind of just locks, and then like in case one of them goes down or they need a catcher, like Rortved's the next guy up. Um, I don't know. What do you make of that?
So a little weird to me because the Yankees have kind of shown that they love their catcher situation because I mean they're both good defensively. Trevino obviously is a platinum glove winner. He's amazing. Higgy's also good back there. So I think they've loved that. And now I don't really know what to make of this. Maybe they've been trying to like talk to teams about left field, third base, and like they're not really getting anything. So they're like, all right, we got to upgrade somewhere else. Let's go catcher. Now here is the worry for me a little bit, which shouldn't be. I would love a good hitting catcher, you know? I've been saying that. I said that in the offseason, trade for Sean Murphy, whatever. I would love a good hitting
Who's
catcher.
now the best catcher in baseball, by
Who
the
is now the
way.
best catcher in baseball. Yep.
Yeah.
So I would love a good hitting catcher. People say like, oh, you don't need one, but this team needs all the hitting they could get. So I would love to go out and get one. However, here with the Yankees, they have been known to be a little on the bitch side in the past. This team loves Higgy. This team loves Trevino. They love those guys. So a trade replacing one of them and getting them off the team, what is that going to do to the clubhouse? Like, which shouldn't be a question. That, like, dude, you're here playing baseball. That shouldn't be a question. But last year, remember the King quotes when they traded Monty? He said the clubhouse culture shifted, and nobody was really fully on board with trading Montgomery and to kind of change the culture and all that, which
It was
I
like a
think
shell shock.
is ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous that is a reason why I wouldn't like why we shouldn't go out and get a catcher. I mean, I think we should. Obviously, we need all the hitting we can get if we can find a good hitting catcher. But yeah, what do you think that would do to the clubhouse? Like, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I feel like that's a shouldn't be a
I
worry, but it is.
Well, I think it's more so it could be an issue if Higashioka goes, just because Higashioka's been with this team since what, 2019 has been
Yeah.
2019. Um, I don't think I don't think by any means they're gonna replace Trevino. I think Trevino has the upper hand in terms of defensively on Higashioka, and I think they just like his defense a lot better than Higashioka. But if they do end up replacing Higgy, I agree with you. Like it could be a clubhouse shift, and I think it would be stupid for there to even be one. But like,
That's what this team is. So.
yeah, and he's been with this team for 4 plus
Well,
years
he
now.
made his debut in 2017, but he's been in the Yankee organization since.
Well, yeah, he's been in the Yankee
He's been in the Yankee
organization.
organization since like 1983.
Yeah,
He's literally been here.
he's been in the Yankee organization since we're in like literally elementary school. I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
signed with the Yankees in like 2013.
The picture of him with like Posada, Cervelli, and all
Yeah,
those guys. Like,
yeah. Um, but he made like he became a mainstay in 2019. Like that's my point. If I
he was
remember, if
drafted
I'm
in
remembering,
2008, Chase. I think he was
that's
drafted in
insane.
2008.
So we were 6.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think it could I think it could definitely damage some, you know, love in the clubhouse. I think it would hurt a little bit, but like
You agree?
you got to make like you got to make the move. You got to make that move.
I know. If
If
it's
you
gonna
can
help the
upgrade.
team.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was a very interesting rumor from Mark Feinsand or however you say his name.
Yeah.
Because it was just so random, and we've kind of always thought that those two were just kind of locks for the lineup. But yeah,
I mean, I don't even know what catcher would be out there. I mean, we talked about Salvador Perez, which would be weird because his defense isn't great. But I mean, I would like Salvador Perez. I think he would be a good addition. But obviously, I don't think just Salvador Perez will change this team. He's been all right this season. His numbers are all right. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know what other hitting catchers will be available because teams covet hitting catchers. I mean, so I don't know. We'll see.
maybe maybe Josh Donaldson's their catcher coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, like I wanted to say like another thing too, like I saw a lot of people saying on Twitter, and last week Brian and I spoke about Austin Wells, because Austin Wells is 24 and he's still in Double A and he's playing really well in Double A. So like it kind of doesn't really make a lot of sense. But like, what does that say about their confidence in Austin Wells, in terms of his future with the Yankees? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, I've said in like the kind of the reports throughout Wells's minor league journey, I guess you could say, is
Mhm.
that he projects not as a
Catcher,
catcher.
right?
Like he could move to like corner outfield, first base. Like that's kind of always been the stigma around him, but he has said many times that he wants to be a catcher. So I guess they're probably, it sucks that he's still in Double A at 24. I mean, I think he should be up, but they're probably trying to develop his glove a little bit more. But still, we need offense. If he's hitting,
Yeah.
get him up to the next level because we need hitters.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people. I'm looking through Twitter right now. Like a lot of people are even saying like, if you're gonna get a catcher, why not just bring up Austin Wells and try him out offensively, and leave Trevino as a defensive catcher. Obviously, I don't think it's what happened, but I think it could be an interesting thing to
Yeah.
look at. But like
I mean,
also,
bringing a guy straight from Double A, like how
yeah,
much can we
it would
really
be
trust him to
difficult.
hit?
It would be difficult, but they did it with Volpe. I know, like I know there's
Oh
a
yeah, that
bigger
worked out well.
there's a much bigger difference with Volpe and Wells in terms of prospect status, but like I don't know. I think they have a lot of decisions to make, and I'm just happy that I'm not in those shoes because it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be because whether you're a fan that's saying to sell or whether you're a fan that's saying to buy, there's gonna be a lot of unhappy people over these next couple weeks. Just
Well, I don't think anybody should be unhappy if we go out and get a guy like Soto and all that. Like, how could you
well,
be
that's
unhappy?
different. That's different. No, 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 that's different. Like,
No, but I know. But my point, like, obviously you shouldn't be, but there will be people on Yankees Twitter that won't be happy about it.
oh, of course, yeah, for
Like,
sure.
it's really like our guy Brendan Q that we like on Twitter, but he's great follow. Go follow Brendan Q. But I saw him say the other day that like he would be not happy with Soto. So like I don't know. And he's not the only
Really?
one. I just saw that. I just saw him say it, but he's not the
Did he
only
say
one.
that?
Just bringing up something that like people don't want. I don't
I
know.
actually now that I'm remembering, I think I do remember him saying that because I think his point was that like why trade for this guy when you could just sign him in like a year. I think he's Soto's a free agent next off season, right?
Yeah,
Not
but
this
that's a
one, next
long
one.
time from now. That's a
Yeah,
long
yeah,
time.
exactly. Um,
2 full seasons.
look, man, if they can go out and get Juan Soto, I would be absolutely thrilled.
And there is something I wanted to ask you about.
Go ahead.
Also, like Juan Soto could be an option. I mean, there rumors around town, around the MLB execs, are that the Yankees will be major players. Obviously, those could all just be rumors to make us a little happy, and then we're gonna get just Heimer Candelario. But the rumors are that the Yankees will be in play for the big stars that might be available. Shohei Ohtani, maybe Juan Soto. Another guy I want to ask you about. You said that you wouldn't be as happy, which was very shocking to me. I think you know where I'm going.
Hmm.
Nolan Arenado. I,
Hmm.
I said this in our group chat that I'm no longer part of. That
Which is ridiculous, by the way. We want you back in there, but
yeah, it ain't gonna happen. But that Nolan Arenado could be traded. I've been seeing everywhere that Nolan Arenado is bracing himself to be traded, and I think that would be
wait,
amazing.
Nolan Arenado's he's what?
Like preparing himself to maybe be traded.
Oh, I thought you were like ensuing that he requested a trade, and I was like, did I
Oh
miss
no,
that?
no,
I didn't know if I missed
no,
that.
no. But like that the around St. Louis, they stink, and nobody knows what happened. But he could be traded. And this is a guy, 32 years old, not old. Obviously, that's not young, but it's not old at all. He's under contract until 2027. So he's amazing at the plate. He had a horrid month of April, like one of the worst of his career. And he's got his numbers up 280, 847 OPS, 20 homers. And I said something about him, and you said that you wouldn't like it or something. You wouldn't.
Yeah, so my thing with Nolan Arenado, arguably the best third baseman in baseball. Definitely defensively, his offense is there. Offensively really, really great. But the one problem that I would have would Arenado help us? Absolutely. He would be a huge help to this lineup, especially if you smack him in there third in the order. I think he would be a huge help for this lineup, and you can move Rizzo down. But my problem with them acquiring Arenado would be is that I feel like that would just be them moving towards the same formula that they've used since 2017, which it hasn't worked. And I get it. Like people like to reflect on the Stanton trade a lot, right? Like people like to say, and I totally disagree with when they say that the Stanton trade was a bad trade. I totally
It
disagree
doesn't make any sense, man.
because at the time, obviously, you're making that trade every day of the week. I mean, you're coming off of one game away from the World Series and the National League MVP. You're telling me you're not going to trade a bag of Sun Chips for
Yeah, we gave up
freaking
nothing. It doesn't make any sense to
yeah.
people that don't like that.
Especially not to mention the fact that like yeah, like he's on a big deal, but like he's not on really a big deal when you compare it to other contracts in Major League Baseball anymore.
Yeah.
But anyways, aside from Stanton, um, I feel like the Yankees making these splashy moves, I feel like have not worked for us. So I feel like this would just be them following that same formula, and then I could totally see it end up blowing up in our faces 3 years from now, if they're having a similar season to what they're having now, and we're asking the same questions like maybe they shouldn't have acquired Arenado. Like, do I think he could help us this year? Absolutely. I think he could help us. Could he help us next year? Absolutely. I think he could help us. But I just feel like they would be sticking to the same formula, which I don't think which is what I don't want them to do.
Okay, well, I mean, the objective is to win a World Series, and you say that Arenado will help us this year and next year. So, like, let's say we do go out and win a World Series in one of these next 2 years. It's not
then it's well worth it. Yeah, then it's well worth
it. And then
it.
we're getting into that fourth year in 2027, and the guy sucks.
Well, it's still
it's
still well worth it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still all about going all in, and I love out Nolan Arenado. The one thing that we know Nolan Arenado is a great defender this year. metrics don't back that up. This year, he actually hasn't really been that great on
Really?
defense. He's in the 16th percentile. That's above average on Savant. And like I have heard that his defense has taken a little dip this year, but we know who Nolan Arenado is. I don't think that's very.
I do remember him making an error against the Yankees. So
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think that's like the end all be all that he's having a down defensive season. I would love Nolan Arenado. I think the opposite. I think 32. I don't think 32 is old. And 2027. We'll do the math on that. Your math
what'd
guy.
you say? What
How
was
old
it?
will he be when his contract
I think
is up?
37.
37. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And I suck at
30.
math, by the way. I don't know. I don't know why you're saying I'm a math guy.
You're a math guy. But we still have like a couple good years of really good Nolan Arenado offensive seasons to look forward to. You know what I would have liked though, which would have been like really nice if
What?
we just wanted to part ways with Miguel. If we could just ways with Miguel Andujar and have traded for him from Colorado, because that was
We
the
all, yeah, we all wanted that. The Yankees front office didn't want it, but
yeah
we
that was
did.
that we know that was the report that came out is that the Rockies wanted Andujar and the Yankees weren't willing to give him up for Nolan Arenado. Absolutely ridiculous, but I think Nolan Arenado will be a big splash that will really help us. But I mean, Juan Soto's a big splash too, and he's going to be a free agent after next year. You want him, right? Nolan Arenado has many years of control left, more than Soto even, and he's not old. 32 is not old in baseball, and he's been doing it for a while. We know how great he is. It's tough to see regression happening for Nolan Arenado in the next couple of years.
The thing with Soto is with them, if potentially acquiring Soto on the off chance that they do, I feel like Soto is one of those guys that you can lock up long term pretty easily. Like I feel like Soto would embrace being a Yankee. I feel like he would really want to, embrace the pinstripes and really want to win with us. Not so much like a lot of people always say like, oh, the pinstripes like aren't, like what people want to wear anymore. Like yeah, like they're bad right now, but like let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Like I do think there are like some players that would embrace being a Yankee, and I think Soto is one of those guys.
I think Arenado could be one of those guys too.
So I think in terms of getting Soto, I think I wouldn't worry so much about the risk of him not resigning, just because I feel like there would be a pretty good chance he'd resign. Ohtani, on the other hand, now that's where it gets a little shaky because he had the chance to come here in 2018. He didn't. He didn't want to be on the East Coast. People close to him keep saying he still doesn't want to be on the East Coast. And everybody keeps saying that, he wants to be a part of a winning team. The Yankees are, they're above 500, but they're not really in a position as currently, to win. I see you're looking at your phone for Saquon. I see that. I didn't read it yet. What does it say?
No deal for the Giants and star Saquon Barkley, with talks going down to the wire, and the best efforts are made to strike
a compromise.
He'll play on the tag, but nobody knows when. He threatened missing week 1. So Saquon Barkley does not get a deal. So now I am sad.
Wow.
I'm even more sad. Josh Jacobs also didn't sign a deal. All right. Please don't hold out, Saquon.
New York sports right now. New York sports right now, man. It's getting a little odd, a little weird. Anyways,
wait, and Saquon Barkley tweeted, "It is what it is." He tweets, Saquon Barkley. Oh my god.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That sucks. That really sucks. Do you think they would trade him?
No. Saquon Barkley's going to be on this team this year. Fuck. All right.
Sorry to divert you, buddy, but we got to go back to the Yanks quick.
Yeah. Let's go.
But Ohtani, I was saying, like he said he doesn't want to be on the East Coast. That's someone that I would worry about locking up long term, and I don't necessarily think that the risk is worth the reward, which is insane to say because he's the greatest player ever, probably. But I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you think about that. Like, do you think the risk is worth the reward in terms of locking him up long term? Is that a move that you would make if you were Brian Cashman?
Yes, it's a move I would make. I mean, it's Shohei Ohtani. It's the best player in baseball. I think, yes, it's a move you make. That's a Yankee move you go out and get, and you try to sign him. Who knows? Maybe he comes here and he loves it. He loves the New York culture. I think New York would embrace him right now. I couldn't say the same to you in 2018 when he was battling injuries for the first couple of years of his career. I think Yankee fans would have turned against him. The other thing about him, though, he wants to be on a smaller market team. And I know the Angels aren't that small market, but they are small market considering LA because the Dodgers get most of the attention there. But so I don't think the Yankees will go out and get Ohtani. I think that's like a very far reach. But yes, I would do it. I would do it. Yes, I would.
Fair.
I'd do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a lot of decisions to make, Danny. They can turn it around. Like they can, but don't know I don't know what it's gonna take. And that's why I'm saying I'm happy I'm not in that position of Brian Cashman. Because they're only, I think, a game and a half out of a wild card spot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
2 games out. 2 games.
Is it 2? Whatever it is. I mean, and assuming Judge comes back, like with the new rumors saying that we're getting some good news on him. If you add Judge and a couple of other guys that could really help this team, I don't know. But also, like, you need Anthony Rizzo, man. Like, it's not even funny anymore, bro. I can't even laugh at it anymore. He's that bad. He's
bad.
That bad.
So bad.
He has like a 110 average since he got hurt and against the Padres. That was just like May. I was in Austin, Texas, so it was like May 28th, or like May 26th when that happened.
Jesus Christ. So bad.
Yeah, he
was looking like he was on his way to one of his best seasons in his career. He was hitting over 300. He was hitting for power. When was the last time he hit a home run?
Since before that injury.
Yeah.
I think, if I remember correctly.
Is it the injury? I don't. Or
you know when it was? It was the Red. You remember the home run against the Reds in that Red series?
Yeah,
that's what it was. That was his last one.
Jesus Christmas, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
But Rizzo stinks right now, and he's got to figure it out. Maybe he just can't play without his best friend. His best friend is hurt. Maybe that's
which is mind-boggling. I mean, that's like me. That's like me and you in co-op. I can't play without you in co-op.
No way. So we're just like Rizzo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got to figure it out. I mean, the guys that aren't hitting got to figure out. Bader has been sliding a little bit, but the one thing we know about Bader is he's clutch. Yeah. So even if Bader doesn't finish, obviously we need him to finish off the season well. If we do squeak into the playoffs, I'm confident in him there. He is clutch, but he's got to get it going. Glaber looking like he's starting to get it going again. DJ, maybe he's had a couple of multi-hit games. So Stan's hitting the long ball. They got to start hitting, but this team has problems right now, and it's not good. It's not good.
There you have it. I mean, not good. Danny Donato, quote unquote.
Not good.
Perfect way to put it. I think that pretty much sums up everything that I wanted to talk about today, unless if you wanted to really highlight anything else.
No, not really. But
yeah.
I'm dreading watching this game tonight. It's like not fun watching it. It's like you watch it prepared to be hurt. Obviously, I root for them in the game, whatever. But you're kind of bracing yourself to be sad after.
Are we going up against Shohei at all, pitching?
No. It's not looking like it. Wednesday for them is still TBD, but I doubt that means Shohei would pitch there, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and not to mention the fact they have a very difficult swing into August, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we saw that, but so I think it's like Houston, Baltimore, and
we have Tampa.
Yeah, it was Tampa. Yeah. I mean, they can make up some ground. If they make the right acquisitions, they can make up some ground in that stretch.
Dude, the late July into August, it's Baltimore, Tampa, Houston. Then we get the White Sox. We already lost series too, but then we have Miami, who's playing out of their minds this year, and then we have Atlanta, which is the best team in baseball. Oh man, we got to take care of the Angels, the Royals, and the Mets before those series.
That stretch will make or break the Yankees. It's gonna be big. But anyways, that's everything that I had for this episode. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Spreading the News, on Twitter at official STN Pod, on TikTok at Spreading the News. Yeah, but yeah, right. Am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing something. No.
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Official STM Pod.
Yeah, whatever. It's all there.
Yes.
Thank you all for listening. This has been Chase.
And Danny,
Let's go Yanks, and we will see you
please
guys
play
next week.
Barkley. Please play Saquon. Free Melly.